uncertainty is something we all have to deal with in our lives, right? And this is why I think it's such an important topic. Hi soulmates, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Jules, your virtual law of attraction coach. And in this video, I want to talk about dealing with uncertainty. This topic dawned on me just a couple of days ago as I was washing my dishes actually. And guys, literally the process of me knowing what my next video will be about, it happens just like that. Most times I do get inspiration from like popular topics that I come across on YouTube or even on Instagram that sparks a little something in me. But sometimes it's really a download from my higher self. And if I have no idea what my next video will be about, I just go within and I ask for guidance. And it's really because I just honestly don't believe in doing, things or talking about things that I'm not inspired to do, that I don't have the experience or, I don't have the inspiration, I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, I don't know why I thought that was important, but I wanted to give you guys the background of how I come up with the ideas for my videos, I guess. So anyway, 2 days ago, as I was washing my dishes, I was loading the dishwasher and I just got this download and I was literally standing there like talking to myself and I was like, yes! This will be my next video. This is what my next video is going to be about. And I literally pulled out my phone and opened up the voice memos and I recorded it because so much was coming through. And I didn't want to forget or miss anything, especially when it came down to like actually sitting down and recording this. So yeah, here we are, dealing with uncertainty. See, uncertainty is something we all have to deal with in our lives, right? I'm dealing with a lot of uncertainty in my life right now, personally, at this very moment. And this is why I think it's such an important topic. It's also a complicated one too. And okay, no, wait, maybe not complicated, but more like a tricky topic. And why I believe it's tricky is because according to Chloe Madanes, a psychologist, humans have 6 basic needs in life. And these are needs beyond like our wants and the things that we desire, right? And she says these 6 needs must be met for each individual to thrive. Not just to survive, but to thrive, okay? And the 6 needs are certainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. As you can see, certainty is one of them, one of the ones I mentioned first. However, life is full of so much uncertainty, right? Life is literally a continuous series of change and uncertainty. So then you have to ask yourself, like, how can we ever truly fulfill a basic human need of certainty when life is filled with so much uncertainty, right? Like, is that even possible? So this is a question I found myself asking. And the thing is, like, uncertainty is a major fear for majority of us. It's a big fear, right? I mean, we literally make ourselves sick, physically and mentally ill, just by worrying about things changing, by worrying about losing our footing in life. We're scared shitless about having any kind of instability happen in our lives in any way. And we resist uncertainty like a plague. We resist it, like we stay away from it, because uncertainty can leave us feeling vulnerable. It can leave us feeling stuck, not knowing what step to take next. We may even feel out of control. We do feel out of control, or we completely feel like we're at the mercy of the world. So then we feel hopeless and we feel powerless and we feel totally lost because we want nothing more than to feel safe. We want nothing more than to feel secure in our lives. We want nothing more than to have stability in our jobs, in our homes, in our relationships. We want to have that predictability that things will work out the way we plan them to work out, and that people will behave the way we expect them to behave. And when we lose that, that certainty, the certainty of those things, we then become distressed and we panic. But do you guys see what's wrong with this picture though? Like, do you notice that the things we find stability in are all based on external forces, like our jobs, our home, our relationships? These are things that are not always in our control, right? We're not always in control of these things. So our whole idea of stability and certainty are based on false reality of what really is ours, right? Because we don't own other people. So how dare we say, all right, you have to behave the way that I expect you to behave, or the way society expects you to behave, whatever. And most of us don't work for ourselves. So how can we truly find security in a job? It can go any day. And if you don't have true security in your job, then guess what? You're not really stable and secure with your home. So it's like, you see how this sense of security, this idea we have of what stability and certainty actually are quite false. Like, there's absolutely no security in anything that's outside of us, right? That's out of your control. You can't find stability in anyone else that's outside of you because you can't control other people, right? So then you have to ask yourself, how do you fulfill this basic need for certainty? And the answer is very, very simple. And I think you guys know what I'm going to say. It's simple because what you actually have to do is find stability within yourself. Yeah. Yes. Life is full of so much uncertainty, and there will always be uncertainty. That's something we have to accept and stop trying to resist it, because that's what we're doing, right? We resist change. We resist like anything that's unstable, anything that's uncertainty. Change and uncertainty become painful when we resist it. What we must do instead is focus on grounding ourselves. What we must do is focus on harnessing our whole power from within, so that no matter what happens externally, no matter what uncertainties we face in life, we're able to navigate with certainty of who we are, with certainty of ourselves. When there's uncertainty happening around you in your life, don't resist it. Instead, completely allow it to happen. Just allow it to flow, okay? Because uncertainty is unavoidable. It's inevitable. So what we really need to do is learn how to move with it, how to dance with it, instead of living out our entire lives trying to avoid it and resist it when it does come anyway. One of my favorite quotes by John Allen Polos is where he says, uncertainty is the only certainty there is, and knowing how to live with insecurity is the only security, which sounds just as paradoxical as change being the only constant in life, which I said in my previous grounding video, but it's so very true. Because we've created these false senses of security and stability, we've pretty much built a cage for ourselves to keep all that stuff out, right? To keep out uncertainty, to keep out change, to keep out all this stuff that we don't like. But the problem is, guess what we've done? We built a cage, put a lock on it, but guess what? We've given the key to the world. We threw the key out there because we're not really in control. So what we need to do is arm ourselves with all the internal stability. We need to focus on grounding ourselves, focus on filling ourselves up with all the love that we're capable of giving and receiving, so that we can move through life with true security. And that is security within ourselves, because that is the only security, all right? That is the only certainty there is, certainty within yourself. And I mentioned earlier that I have quite a bit of uncertainty surrounding my life right now. And I keep getting asked one very big question, and I feel it's so important to bring up, and that is that how are my children being affected? How will they be affected? How will the kids deal? Am I considering the instability they will face with, changes or whatever? And my response is always the same, because it's really freaking simple to me. They'll be fine. I don't go into depth about why or how they'll be fine, but because most people that are asking don't quite have a grasp on the spiritual side of things or the path I'm on or whatever, but my answer is always that. It's like, they'll be just fine. In fact, they'll be more than fine. They will thrive and they will be happy. Why? Because I am teaching them to be so. I am guiding them through honing their true, their real sense of security and stability. I do not want to continue to perpetuate this false sense of security that is, accepted and believed and lived by. And teach my kids to fear change and uncertainty. Instead, I want to teach them to be grounded and whole within themselves, within who they are, so that no matter what happens around them, no matter what goes up, no matter what goes down, no matter what the next person does or doesn't do, they know that they have the power to choose how it affects them. They have the power to choose how they're affected. They have the power to decide to stand within themselves, grounded and balanced and loved. I feel like, especially for children, there's so much that is out of their control. There's so much that can easily rock their stable lives every single day, that I feel they need to learn this more than anyone, more than adults even, because adults have more of the control, right? We have more of the control over these children. And many of us grow up with this sense of, this feeling of powerlessness, not feeling that we have any control of our own lives, because that's how we grew up. We grew up having to relinquish the control to the adults in our lives. And as we move through adolescence into adulthood, it makes it easier to continue to hand over that control to other people, right? So my mission in my life is to really teach my children, even if it's just my children, to find their certainty from within, to find their center of stability from within themselves, and not to rely on us parents to give it to them, right? For any of that, because us parents, we're not good at that shit either, right? For the majority of us, we pretend we are. We hide our fears from them, and we pretend all is safe and all is well and all is stable. But the reality is, parents, we're stressing daily, we're in a constant state of worry, and we're scared to death of things changing because we're always in fear of them changing for the worse. Parents also break up, they get divorced, they move around, they change jobs, they have all this control. We change so many things for these kids, and we change without even teaching them or showing them how to actually deal with it, how to navigate through these changes and these uncertainties. But the thing is, we don't even actually know how to do it ourselves because we're learning as we're going, right? So instead of teaching my kids to rely on external circumstances to determine their security and safety, I am guiding them through having stability within themselves so that no matter what happens externally with friends, with family, with homes, with whatever, school, whatever it may be, they know that they are always good, that they are always secure because they have all they need right within. And that is true stability. That is true certainty. That's the only certainty there is, because uncertainty is inevitable. It's always going to come, and avoiding it is not, it's only going to hurt these kids, right? Trying to avoid situations that are going to bring change and uncertainties is only going to hurt them, because that's not how life works. Life is full of uncertainty. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of change. Rather than shielding them from it, teaching them to avoid it, we need to teach them how to deal with it, okay? And one more thing I want to say is, remember this: the universe is always moving us into our highest good. Everything that happens in life, the good and the contrast to the good, is all moving you into a place that is better than where you are or where you've been. And sometimes the most effective path to our highest good is through undesirable circumstances. Sometimes undesirable circumstances happen to prepare us to receive something that we've been either asking for or praying for or hoping for, okay? So if you are going through a lot of uncertainty right now, if you're going through some changes, if you're going through challenges right now, don't resist. Don't resist. In fact, try to embrace it. Try to find joy. I know it can be hard, but try to find joy and peace in the fact that you are being carried right now to your desired destination. You are shifting into a new frequency. Perhaps you're shifting into a frequency of something that you have been manifesting, okay? So face uncertainty with certainty within yourself, and know that uncertainty is needed, okay? Uncertainty is purposeful, okay? So embrace it. And that's my message to you guys today. Embrace uncertainty and tell the universe to bring it the hell on, okay? Because you got this, all right? So let's go. So yeah, that's really it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. And I really hope that it was either helpful or at least a little bit enlightening, and that you give it a thumbs up. Also, please share this with anyone who you think could use this message right now. And if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to my channel for more videos like this to keep you in high vibration. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, because this year I'm gonna continue to make videos every single week to inspire you to live in your power and create a life of limitless abundance. All right, guys, thank you so much for sharing your energy with me in another video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.